Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Mass Effect 3. I'm the Mysterious JT, and it's time to make a decision about how we're going to end this game. So, explained it all for me just a moment ago, as I wrapped up the last video. We are confronting the intelligence that is behind the Reapers, and their kind of fucked up, impossibly bloody, millenniums-long quest to preserve organic life by reaping any species that reaches a certain level of technological prowess before it can wipe itself out. And wipe out all or other organic life by creating a synthetic species that isn't as dedicated to preserving organic life as the Reapers are. I mean, there's some holes in this that don't make sense to me. I'm sure if we had the Mass Effect writing team here, they could explain it. Don't know how much of this they'd figured out when they were finishing Mass Effect 1 and how much they pulled together later on, but I mean, didn't the fact that the Geth have already been created, doesn't that mean that the Reapers are a little late kicking off this cycle? Javik has explained something about other synthetic species, though, so it's not unheard of for synthetic species to have propped up in previous cycles. But yeah, we've got basically 3 choices in front of us. There's actually 4 endings that we can get here. One of them, unless I'm mistaken, I can show real quick how it works, and it won't take a whole lot of time to see. So I might just show it and then get on to the 3 more series and central endings. But basically, we're being presented with the choice by the Star Baby here. Spider Baby, which has the mind of a spider in the body of a baby. No, we've got 3 choices here from the Star Baby. We can't. It's a Father Ted reference, the Spider Baby thing. Don't worry about it. But our 3 choices are wipe out the Reapers, but also destroy all synthetic life. And for this thing, we're dooming organic life because the Reapers are the only thing stopping organics from destroying themselves utterly in the long term by creating a synthetic species that will wipe out all organic life. And honestly, if you avoid that path out of fear of the organic life being wiped out, then you're not showing a whole lot of faith in organics. And this whole game is about Shepard being like Mr. Paragon and teaching the Geth to love and getting Jeff, Moreau, and Edie together and all that kind of stuff. No, my heartburn with the destroy ending is the fact that you're actually wiping out. Well, you're killing Edie, which is not a good thing, but, you know, stopping the Reapers from killing trillions, I think Edie's gotta go. I don't feel nice about it, but I think it's gotta happen. More troubling to me is that you're wiping out the Geth species. Although, in theory, yeah, I mean, there's no time to warn them. Legion's gone, otherwise I would think, like, Shepard dialed Legion up on his cell and was like, hey, Legion, look, I gotta ask you to do me a solid. Can the Geth consensus get together and decide they're willing to bite it so that all other life can endure? And Legion would probably come back and say, Shepard, Commander, you'll owe me for this, but we'll do it. No, I'm being silly. No, it bothers me that the Geth would be wiped out, although in theory, the Geth, I mean, fuck, can't you just, like, reboot them once? I mean, just save them on a zip drive and reboot them after the catalyst has done its dirty business. I don't know. But yeah, it would appear that... And you don't get a whole lot of elucidation out of the Star Child, but I think... Star Child, I keep calling it Star Child. The ultimate male, the ultimate lover. And the demon isn't here, or any of the other members of KISS are not explaining. But yeah, I think the Geth and Edie are fucked if we decide to destroy the Reapers this way. And there's no other way conceivably we can destroy the Reapers. It's also represented in our hallucinations by Anderson, who's pretty much a stand-up guy. Then we can try to control the Reapers, an ending I never really thought was appealing. Well, A, because it's massively out of character for Paragon Shepard, even though he's got a bit of a god complex with ultimate responsibility for saving the universe and all. Makes a little bit more sense if you're Renegade Shepard. Still doesn't feel quite right, and actually destruction is the path for Renegade Shepard. Like, you know, sorry, Geth, Sorry, Edie, you guys gotta go. That's the Renegade Shepherd solution in my mind. But also that path, well, destruction leads to red explosions. Control leads to, I think, purple explosions, and then synthesis, I think, leads to green explosions. But the control path is represented by the elusive man, who has not generally been portrayed as a sympathetic character. And if you're into the whole indoctrination theory, those people would have you believe that if you choose the control the Reaper's ending, you are essentially submitting to indoctrination. Like, you're carrying through with this fantasy that you can control the Reapers, but are in fact giving yourself over utterly to Reaper control. That's what the people who argue that, like, a big chunk of this game is in Shepard's mind, and he's actually battling Reaper indoctrination taking over his brain, and that what we're seeing is that, like, laid out in his subconscious somehow. They would tell you that control is the, like, you give into the Reaper's path. And in a way, so is synthesis, the third option. The Star Child seems to think this is the best option, which begs the question, if it's capable of making the decision, why is it pulling in Shepard? This is another thing that feeds into the indoctrination theory people, because they are just pointing out the logical flaw there. It's like, well, you know, it presents this to you that you need to make the decision, and it can't, and yet it's clearly pushing this path on you. I just don't understand what the synthesis ending really means. They say they're going to rewrite all biological life form on the genetic level by combining crucible energy with Shepard's essence of organic life, and just, it's vague, it's mystical, I don't get it. And that doesn't sit well with me. So, I have a confession to make, which I mentioned last time. The confession is that the first time I ever played through the game, I read a little bit about the endings. Just basically what I read is, what are the war asset requirements? Because all those war assets we've been collecting, the only time they matter is here. And what they influence is which endings, which choices you're given. Because if you have less than minimum war assets, you're not allowed to engage in the final mission. If you have, and it's difficult to actually have less than minimum, actually. Like, if you just do nothing but the main story missions that are prerequisites to even get here, I think you probably are going to have pretty close to the minimum assets already. But if you get here with minimum war assets, the Star Child doesn't give you an option. He just says, you go here and touch this red terminal to destroy us. And the only options you have are that and the ending I'm about to show you first before I pick my real ending. The second ending, taking control of them, requires more war assets, and then the third ending, synthesis, requires the most assets of the three. And I read recently, I didn't know this before, the destroy ending, like some of the details in the destroy ending, like how much damage is done to the organics by the destruction of the Reapers, because, like, you're basically wiping out the Reapers and a lot of other technology, sending organics into, I guess, a bit of a dark age for a spell until they can pull their shit back together. But the details of how that ending plays out depend on your war assets. So if you have the absolute minimum, I guess it's pretty hard. But if you have really good war assets, then you go through with the overall destroy ending, but, you know, the organics are not in as rough a shape immediately, in the immediate aftermath. But the confession I'm going to make is that the first time I played through, I found out that you had to do more side quests and stuff to unlock the option of getting the synthesis ending than at any other ending. So I picked that ending, because I used game logic to determine, much like, hey, I don't know which one of these two swords that I've picked up in dungeons is best. I really can't tell which one has the best stats. They seem pretty similar. But when I go to a store, this one sells for more money than this one. So I'm going to sell the one that sells for less money and keep the one that would have sold for more, because I've got this vague game logic notion that the one that would have sold for more is actually better. And I'm just not quite perceiving how. So I took that logic. Even though I couldn't make sense of what the synthesis ending meant, I chose the synthesis ending. And honestly, the big knock on Mass Effect 3's endings is that none of them, they don't really differ that much in the actual ending that you see, before the credits. You have this big decision point, and then it's just kind of left open to interpretation what happens next. And therefore, didn't really get a lot of answers about what the fuck synthesis meant. And it just kind of didn't like it that much. So, my intention here, folks, is to choose... Well, again, I had intended at one point to let you guys weigh in, but now I'm just wrapping this thing up, and I know that I will be done recording before these last few videos are public. So I'm making my own call. You guys jump in and tell me what you would have voted for. I think most people would have backed the destroy ending anyway. I mean, you know, how long have you been fighting these fucking Reapers and wanting to take them out? But I'm going with destroy, because I did synthesis off screen and I just wasn't that satisfied. And control just seems kind of fucking weird. At any rate, you basically have to lurch forward and choose one of these. You can refuse to choose one. You don't get to talk to the kid anymore. You don't get to save. But you can try to shoot the kid.
So be it.
What does that mean?
The cycle continues.
The scary so be it voice is scary and all, but it's basically what happens if you don't choose. Like, it's the same thing plays out if you don't choose one within a certain amount of time. Shepard refuses to choose. This happens. Oh shit, this is taking longer than I thought it would. I thought we just got a critical mission failure. That's what we used to get. Maybe the new... Oh. Yeah, before you got the extended ending DLC,
then there is still hope.
You just got a critical mission failure. I hope I don't have to play through a whole bunch of shit again.
Hope that you can avoid the same mistakes we made. We fought the Reapers, but we failed to stop them. We did everything we could. We built the Crucible, but it didn't work. We fought as a united galaxy, but it wasn't enough. I only hope the information in this capsule is enough to help you before it's too late. My name is Dr. Liara T'Soni. Herein lies the recounting of our war with the Reapers.
Okay, so I've never seen that before. Before, when I shot the Star Child, you just get critical mission failure, which makes it much easier to actually... Oh, fuck. I wouldn't have done that if I'd realized. Oh, no. I do want to exit the credits, yes. I selected yes, damn it. Why are you still going? Okay. Yes. I hit yes.
Did that all really happen?
Are you just pulling
We'll
my
never
leg?
know exactly what it was like, but yes, the archives tell the true story of those who came before us.
The true Hollywood
They
story?
fought a terrible war, so we wouldn't have to.
And that's why we have peace.
Scrubbing bubbles
Yes.
to do the work so it won't happen.
Without everything they accomplished, without the information they passed down, we too would be threatened.
What else do we know about the Shepherd?
Just
Well, he's
what
not
we
the
have in
Shepherd. What are you,
archives.
Starfire?
But I've only told you a few of the stories.
I haven't told you about the
Can you tell
time
me
that
another
he,
Please?
It's getting late, but okay. One more story.
Let me tell you about the time he got it on with the consort. Which our Shepherd didn't because he was Paragon, but Renegade Shepherd can get it on with the consort. It's kind of silly. Congratulations on bringing an end to the Reaper threat, I guess. Commander Shepard's become a legend. Mary can continue to build that legend. It's been a long journey for Shepard and the team here at BioWare. And like Shepard, we couldn't have done it alone. The Mass Effect trilogy began as the vision of a small team, but over the years it has grown. That growth has been fueled and shaped by the feedback and support of our player community. Thank you, blah, 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 blah. And we look forward to sharing further adventures with you in the Mass Effect universe. So, fuck. I thought we got critical mission failure and I would get to immediately go to one of the other endings. But it looks like they changed that with the extended cut DLC. Either that or I didn't remember it correctly. So what I get from that is that if you don't choose, or if you shoot the stupid Star Child creature, you, I don't want to go through all that again. And it auto-saved here. Oh, you son of a bitch. Son of a fucking bitch. It auto-saved there. Oh, Lord. Alright, let's see. Do I have to go through all of this shit with the... I have to go through all this shit with the Elusive Man again? Is that the last... I think that's the last... That's the last quote mission. It auto-saved on the deck of the Normandy. God damn it. Fuck. Fuck. Well, this sucks. This sucks a lot. Alright. I guess I'm gonna have to play through all that shit again, and I'll, cut and paste it back together once we're back to something that matters. Fuck you, Mass Effect 3. Fuck you so much. It's not fair! They changed the rule! Oh. I thought it would be funny to shoot the fucking kid in the head and then see critical mission failure, but they changed it with the extended cut DLC. They wanted to make all the endings more full and rewarding, so they added some lame-ass scene of Liara having a time capsule that warns the next generation how to beat the Reapers. Apparently the next generation did show something other than shoot the Star Child in the head, like I did. And fuck. Because what's implied happened there is that Shepard fails to take out the Reapers because he can't make a decision. So the Reapers wipe out all the species that we've seen in this game. Shit. Alright, well, I guess I'm going back through this whole nonsense again. I mean, in theory, this would be a good opportunity to see a different way of dealing with the Elusive Man, but no, fuck it. I'll just edit this together, and the next time you see me, we'll be with the stupid star baby again, the spider baby. Alright. Okay, I'm back. Oh, that was frustrating. You know, and fucking somehow, as if to pour salt in the wounds, it took me like frickin' 6 tries to get past the damn husks and the Marauder. At that ending where you're like, you know, Shepard's like lurching around half dead with just a pistol, and he can't use the metagel or skill trees or anything, and he has to fight off 3 husks and a Marauder when like 1 hit will kill him. He can take 1 hit from the Marauder. It's like a plot hit you can't avoid, and yeah. It took me like 6 or 7 tries. I mean, honest to God, having already beaten it on Insanity on camera, I finally decided, fuck it, because I kept losing. I figure I'm even more tired and strung out than I was now than I was when I started that. So I set it to like narrative mode, and then changed the difficulty back to Insanity once I was walking around inside the Crucible. In narrative mode, you don't have to fight anybody. So there you go. It was pretty frustrating. But now I'm back, and having tried to shoot the Star Child in the head and been punished with, you know, because I remember you get like a little speech from him, and then you get critical mission failure, and you just continue back from where you were. That's what I thought I remembered. Maybe you get critical mission failure and you do have to do all this again, in which case I'm an idiot. But more than ever before, I want to fucking destroy the Reapers now. So if you really wanted to see the synthesis ending or the control ending, I apologize. They are out there for you to seek on YouTube's. But we are wrapping this bad boy up. Apologies to the Geth and to Edie, who are really my only regrets in this. The idea, it's like fucking Tales of Vesperia all over again. It's like supposed to be this big deal that we're gonna get rid of the Blastia. It's like, oh, it'll inconvenience people, but we have to give up the Blastia in order to save ourselves from the Autophagos. which is like a weak reflection to me of the far superior ending to Final Fantasy X. Or even if the world doesn't depend on them per se, Yuna has to destroy the Aeons that had been her allies, that she had actually had to commune with, and, you know, she had to like find like a kind of spiritual resonance with them to use their power, and she had to destroy them at the end to save the world. And that was so sad. And now this whole thing with like the fucking Star Child telling you, oh, it's endless cycles, and you have to break it, and you have to do this, and you're gonna die, but it'll all work out. And I have to ask myself, did Mass Effect 3 come before or after Matrix Reloaded, or Revolutions, or whichever Matrix movie had like Neo talking to Colonel Sanders? And Colonel Sanders is like, you have been here many times before, ignorant human, how little you see, but the cycle will begin again. And then there's like all these Neos on a screen that he sees, and one of them is like giving the camera the finger. And it's like, all the other Neos are methods for the retro. Whatever. What I'm getting at is, yeah, this whole like, oh, it's an endless cycle and you're trapped, but now we can break the cycle, but you must decide, and you must decide to... It's the synthesis ending. The control ending just feels like a trap, A. B, it just seems really out of character to me for Shepard. But the synthesis ending is like, take all sentient life in the universe, and without their consent, change their very genetic code, and... I don't know. I never understood what it actually entailed. And then, honestly, when you actually play through the synthesis ending, you see these various species, it doesn't seem to have done anything. So it just, I don't know, it feels silly. Like it, but I'm thinking like, okay, I can fucking destroy, I can just change all life in a way that I can't even understand and have just no sense that I have the authority to do. Or wipe out the Geth and Edie, which seems like a dick move, but it's the only way to save every other sentient species. And the Geth and Edie can possibly be restored. Maybe. You can hope. Maybe it's a false hope. Maybe it's something I'm saying to soothe my own troubled soul. I think we gotta fucking destroy these guys. You know, it was a big waste of time, but I don't regret having shot you in the head, you fucking kid. But yeah, if you spend too much time dilly-dallying, I somehow that means you fail here. That central path is synthesis. That path is trying to take control of them. Synthesis is the one that, and even the way it's presented in the middle, it's like red stuff, purple stuff, but then this cool path of light, and it's in the middle, and it's the last one that's mentioned, and you need the most war assets to do it. It's just, the game sets it up as the one that's the best, in a way. But I can understand fucking destroying the Reapers. Well, kid, synthesis sounds cool, and everything you said about how it's inevitable, that will happen now that you know it's possible, good luck with that, because you're not going to see it, you son of a bitch. Son of a Leviathan. And thus, for me, ends Mass Effect 3. Thanks for choosing my path, Shepard. Damn it, Shepard, you ass! It's appropriate they show her, because he's basically killed Edie. Tali, I don't know. He's not killing Tali, is he? Maybe he's fucking up her Enviro suit by destroying technology. I hadn't really thought about that, but... I didn't think they meant all technology. I thought they meant, like, Mass Effect field...
All fleets.
related
The
technology.
Crucible is armed. Disengage and head to the rendezvous point.
Get the F out.
I repeat, disengage and get the hell out
What's
of here.
happening? Is he, like, somehow aware that Edie's in trouble and trying to save her?
We have to go.
He can't know that. He's probably trying to save Shepard.
Damn it.
Shepard automatically dies in the control ending, they told us, and I think it's implied that he dies in the control ending too, because he's merging his energy with the Crucible, which I think means he's dead. In this ending, he's unleashing like a massive wave of destruction from his own position, so, you know, I think he's dead. I think Shepard's dead, no matter what. Which, you know, kind of a bummer. What do you know about the undiscovered country? What do you know about life after death? Was it really just something the Patriots created? The whole concept? And we're fighting a ceaseless horde of the minions of the Reapers until suddenly, presumably, the Reapers get destroyed. Otherwise, what the fuck was going on? Oh no, Big Ben got destroyed. Well, actually, Big Ben appeared to have survived. The Reaper, not so much. It's kind of like an EMP pulse, except specifically targeting the Reapers. Yeah, and all that, somehow Big Ben comes out okay. Yep. Oh shit, my head just exploded. And that one major who suddenly thought he was an important character after just showing up with 95% of the story completed in Mass Effect 3. He gets to live, and various unnamed Marines. Like the last line, if you believe in the indoctrination theory, that everything after the point where Shepard enters the Citadel is a hallucination, then the last line spoken in the game is from just an anonymous Marine. And the second to last line is from Major What's-His-Face. So, you know, why would it be anything else, right? Citadel is destroyed, I guess. And here's what I was joking about, what color explosions do you want? This sequence plays in all three endings, but the color of the, like, energy pulse that blows up the Mass Effect relays is different. It's purple if you control the Reapers. It's red if you destroy them. I think it's green if you do synthesis. And it's lame as hell. So the Mass Effect relays are all destroyed, which makes sense to me in the destroy ending, but it seems to happen in all the endings, even though it's only the destroy ending where, again, that makes any sense to me. I guess in the control ending, the Reapers fly off rather than get blown up. Again, the endings all look real similar, at least in the original version. I might myself go watch a video of the synthesis ending just to see how it looks later, probably tomorrow. I'm not going to bother to record it. I don't have to go through all that dialogue with the Lizard Man for a third time and a fourth time. So all the other ships were okay, but only the Normandy somehow has to speed away from the explosion while not looking at it, Jason Statham style. So it seems like if you slam on the brakes, there's a hole in the explosion behind you. You can see. So all that is in the regular ending. This I don't think, well, maybe it is. I'll do my best to point out things that are definitely part of the extended cut DLC. Because, yeah, folks, the Mass Effect fan community was seriously pissed at the ending that was originally provided. I think this is part of it. Boy, I sure hope I have the extended cut DLC installed. I thought I did, but so far it's pretty much the same. Despite my freaking out about having to go through all that stuff again when I shot the Star Child in the head. Come on, Edie. Edie, hop out of there. Join Joker. Show me that you're okay. I mean, you guys escaped from the wave of destructive force, so actually Edie should be okay, shouldn't she? Oh, there's Tali. I call Edie's fine because that wave of energy was what was wiping out the synthetics, and the Normandy evaded it successfully. Yeah, so I'm retconning that the consequences of my actions are not there. But that's actually bullshit. Edie's clearly dead. I do remember Edie being one of the crew members who got out of the ship at the end when I did the synthesis ending. So I'm pretty sure the destroy ending, which I'd never actually gone through with all the way, kills Edie. Sorry. If I'd really thought ahead about the fact that I was going to be killing you, I wouldn't have made all those jokes about you being a sex bot. This is not part of the regular ending, so this is extended cut. Like, that little shot we just had there with them getting off the ship goes straight to credits in the original ending.
The Reapers
That's
have
why
been defeated.
people were so pissed.
Against all odds, and in the face of the greatest threat this galaxy has ever known, we survived.
Instead, we get a bunch of slow sonorous
We suffered
speeches.
many
That's what Mass
losses.
Effect fans expected, damn it.
The relays are severely damaged, but we won.
And we can fix them because reasons.
This victory belongs to each of us.
But mostly
Every
Shepard.
man, woman, and child. Every civilization. On every world.
But mostly humans on Earth, who will include Shepard. Here's a picture of Jacob. Here's a picture of random Asari. Kasumi looking sad. I think she looks happy if you do the other endings because, like, synthesis means she could join her digital boyfriend and
Now, as we take our
Digital
first steps toward restoring what we lost, we must remember what it took to win.
What's with the still pictures with, like, stuff drifting around? Is this like a WWA 2K15 showcase mode ending? Then
This wasn't
Triple
a
H
victory by a single
decided
fleet,
to ride his RVD
single
speeder
army.
bike.
or even a single species. If this war has taught us anything, it is that we are at our strongest when we work together.
Sakon Shima ushered in an era of peace.
And if we can put down our grievances long enough to stop something as powerful as the Reapers, imagine what we can achieve now that they are defeated.
Well, according to
It
the
will
Reaper
take
Kid,
time.
we'll wipe ourselves out.
But we can rebuild everything that was destroyed.
Even Edie, even the Geth? Because I'm feeling kind of sore about that.
Our homes, our worlds, our fleets and defenses. All of this.
But we don't
and
need
more.
defenses because we're going to have, like, enduring peace, right?
Together, we can build a future greater than any one of us could imagine.
Dean
A
Domino.
future paid for by the sacrifices of those
Yeah,
who fought
I'm
and
sorry,
died alongside
Geth.
us.
I really am. I guess
A
Legion's dead
future
anyway.
that many will never see.
And that was Legion specifically, so. Here's Shepard's head. He's dead now. Severed head. Alright, so that picture of Legion, yeah, Legion would have been dead regardless. But I'm pretty sure we... Admiral Anderson. And Shepard, presumably. And there's Edie. So yeah, Edie is dead. I'm not, 100% thrilled with the choice I made. It seemed like the best of three not that great options, to be honest. Her knees clearly bend like ours do, though. And that's
And while
what I
we still
noticed
have
during
many
this scene.
challenges ahead of us, we can face them together.
Yeah, it was actually starting to fade to black to save my screen because it's been so long since a command input.
And we will honor those who died to give us that future.
Mostly more than Solus. But she didn't stick the plaque on the wall. Interesting. Alright, so still not a barn burner of an ending, but all that stuff after the initial shot of guys coming out of the Normandy is added on. This was not part of the original ending. And neither was this. This I had spoiled for me. I knew that this was going to be a thing. What we're going to see here. Wreckage of Earth. And Dead Shepherd. Dead Shepherd seemed to be breathing. What do you know? And although that was not the dominant factor in my decision, yes, the fact that Shepard appears to maybe still be alive at the end, like it's kind of left out there that, hey, Shepard, is he still alive at the end of the Destroy ending? that was in the back of my mind too, but was not in fact the main driving force of my decision. Yeah, but I read a little analysis of the endings, and actually this was several days ago when I didn't anticipate getting into the. I had a long play session, longer than I expected it was going to be here. And the fact that I accidentally played the second to last mission on normal difficulty meant that that one went so freaking fast. But But yeah, I read a little bit about the endings, kind of reminded myself of what I already knew from previous. But I did not realize that, in fact, I knew that the destroy ending was the easiest to get. I knew that then control was harder, and that synthesis was harder still in terms of war assets. But I also found out that, I don't know if this is with the extended cut DLC or even before, that extra shot that you only get in the destroy ending of Shepard, like, seeming to exhale like he's still alive. That's interesting. Jennifer Hale got credited before Mark Meer as Shepard, because of course one of them voices Shep and one voices Fem Shep. Hale comes first alphabetically, but yeah, it's kind of neat. I hadn't really thought about that, but in all the ads that use Shepard's voice, they always go with male Shepard, so I kind of think of Jennifer Hale as the alternate, not the primary Shepard, you know. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, that shot of Shepard, like, breathing out at the end, like, oh, maybe he is alive. That only comes if you pick the destroy ending and you also have a bunch of war assets. So the easiest ending to get is the destroy ending, but that little, like, hope shot that Shepard might survive, you only get with the destroy ending. So when I played through previously, I got the synthesis ending, and the fact that Shepard still, you know, that he died didn't bother me all that much. I mean, yeah, it was kind of sad that Shepard died after all that he did to save everybody, but no, that wasn't like the big issue with the ending or anything like that. So yeah, there you go. So even with the extended cut, the ending to Mass Effect 3 kind of an anticlimax, and I'm assuming there's not a ton of extra content after the credits are over. That little thing that we had of a kid being, you know, an alien telling a kid that Shepard saved everybody. And isn't it great? I think we still have that to go after the credits are over. And I think you get that with all of them. Something. But I would have to say, you can go look them up if you want. And now that I know it's just a series of still shots, it kind of, the narration is slightly different, the still shots are slightly different. I believe if you pick the, well, this was what was really frustrating about the endings. If you pick synthesis, you got the exact same damn ending in the original version. The explosions are a different color. The fucking ship still has to crash land, or just land. And EDI gets out with Joker and another squad member. And if you pick Destroy, EDI doesn't get out because EDI's dead. So that's the difference. EDI's still alive if you pick synthesis. But it's not like the people suddenly have like weird cybernetic shit in their faces and look like robo people or anything. It's like, you know, what the hell did the whole deal with sorry, what am I getting at here? What did the whole synthesis thing really mean? It's just not freaking clear ever. Which, you know, it bugged me. Maybe they're like, oh, we really want to make people think. I'm like, no, you know, at this point, I would kind of like a coherent story, please. Everybody's got different things that they like out of their stories. I'd like a little coherence. Especially because the story has been so full of like detail and dialogue and character shading and all this stuff, and then suddenly at the very end they're just like, you know what, fuck it, we're just gonna get all vague and ambiguous, and you just no specific information on what happens to anybody. There's this general gloss over that everyone's real happy and the species all work together and it's super awesome, dudes. I think if you choose the control ending, the narration mentions that the Reapers play some role in helping to repair the Mass Effect relays eventually. If you get the synthesis ending, I don't remember what the dialogue is, so you could check it out for yourself. Matter of fact, I probably don't know what it is because when I got the synthesis ending, I didn't have the extended cut DLC, so it was just Edie gets out of the ship with Joker at the end. Huzzah. The destroy ending, you destroyed the Reapers, who had killed millions upon billions upon trillions of people. So, fuck them. The Arya is the first person credited? Oh, I guess that's specifically for that one DLC. You also killed a Geth, which is a shame. Especially once we found out that the Geth in Mass Effect 1, who were so, they were pretty murderous assholes, but you find out that they were a subset of Geth who had been basically, suckered by the Reapers. And then and the Geth are just a bit weird anyway, because you hack a certain mainframe and suddenly the Geth change sides. It seems like they would be, kind of dubious allies to have when, like, at any point they can just make a cold, calculated decision to betray you and fucking gut you. It's, I hate to sound like I'm racist against a fictional race of robots, but they did seem like they were all about betraying you, potentially, down the road, because they tended to change alliances in rather odd ways throughout the series. Memory of Robin Sachs. Not sure who that is. I think we're coming up on the end of these credits, actually. They're fairly short. Video game credits these days go on forever. They, well, maybe we're not quite done yet after all. Now, the video game credits these days... Okay, it is over. They tend to include everybody who was involved with all the different various international versions of games, which I don't get because I got the US localized discs. Whatever.
Did that all really happen?
Nah, I made it up.
Yes, but some of the details have been lost in time.
Well, now why do we have a guy? Last time we had a lady.
So very long ago.
When can I go to the stars?
Never.
One day, my sweet.
A Minnesota Fats Pool legend.
Anything you can imagine. Our galaxy has billions of stars.
Like Art Carney, Audrey Meadows, and Joyce Randolph.
Could have many worlds.
Or not.
Every world could be home to a different form of life. And every life is a special story of its own.
Your delivery sure is stilted. Are you sure you're a voice actor and not just some celebrity?
It's getting late, but okay. One more story.
Let me tell you about the time that Shepard did battle with the leather goddesses of Phobos. I can't remember now if that's Buzz Aldrin or the guy who does the voiceover at the end of the game there. I don't know what the difference is. Sometimes you trigger a female voiceover, sometimes you trigger a male. The male one is it Buzz Aldrin? It's an astronaut. It's an astronaut, a famous astronaut, i.e. pretty much any astronaut could be considered a famous astronaut. I don't actually remember which one it was, but I think it might have been Buzz Aldrin or John Glenn or somebody. But yeah, it's an astronaut. John Glenn's an astronaut, right? Am I mixing up different people? Never mind. You know what, folks? I really should have a lot to say. Because we played through all three Mass Effect games, and I really did enjoy myself. Because I have a great fondness for the Mass Effect series. A lot of unintentionally humorous aspects to the series, but overall just a fun series. I enjoyed the exploration aspect of the first game, and I was sad to see it kind of reduced a bit as the game got more and more like your standard action shooters. But the love of character development and dialogue, and intentional humor, and that stayed strong throughout. And the tendency amongst sci-fi trying to be cool of having lots of sexy female characters, that ramped up as things went on. But even in the first game, you had Ash cracking jokes about, if you want to see me dancing in tinfoil high-heeled boots, you're going to have to give me a drink, buy me dinner first. Sure. I mean, that kind of humor was there throughout. I guess what I'm trying to say is I really enjoyed the Mass Effect series, but it was quite an undertaking to LP through all three games and try to do a a vaguely full clear. I mean, to showcase as much as I could, all the DLCs and stuff. That was a lot of time that ate up. And as I'm wrapping the whole thing, did not intend for this to happen, but once you get close to the end and you kind of mentally commit, it was like it's very late. And I need to go to bed. And I don't know how I could wrap up. It's like, it was bad enough trying to wrap up my thoughts on a long LP series like Final Fantasy X or Tales of Vesperia, any of the RTK games. The RTK games, I tend to have some god awful musical number that I've thought out. RTK 12, man, I still can't believe I ended that series that way. But this, no, I didn't have anything planned out, and I'm not sure what I could have planned out because it's the third and longest of a series of 3 LPs I've done of Mass Effect series games. And I've hinted throughout that, I could go through again and play as a renegade and probably renegade Femshep just to kill 2 birds with 1 stone there. But I probably won't because of the massive undertaking it would be. And I've been teasing throughout that was a possibility, and I'm maintaining the same party line I always have, which is if a lot of people ask for it, it's just possible that maybe I'll feel an interest in doing it. But I'm not I'm not trolling for people to come and say they want to see it because frankly, I don't think it's going to happen even if people do want to see it. I think I'm going to have to just be done with Mass Effect, at least until Mass Effect 4 comes out. And there's another part of it that's like, isn't it weird that you played through the Citadel DLC party several times to see different things, but you're not willing to see different endings? And I'm like, well, you can always go look up the different endings online if you're interested, folks. But having at least seen the ending for the I don't even remember what it was called, the synergy ending, whatever it was, where humans and AI are shifted and changed so that they become the same, and it didn't make any fucking sense when I saw it before. I'm pretty sure you'll see pictures of Geth still being alive in that ending. But no, they don't really ever explain what it means, and it just feels like a bit nutty to me. I didn't sacrifice the Geth and Edie so we could have one shot of almost dead Shepard exhaling like maybe he's still alive. Oh joy! I did it because I think were I in Shepard's shoes and offered the opportunity to reshape all life without their consent, or sacrifice some robots. Sorry to say, and wipe out the robots who had been killing everyone since before humanity existed. I mean, of those endings, the one that made sense to me was the frickin' destroy ending. So that's what we got. If you strongly disagree, let me know why in the comments. I'll be interested to read it. But it's not going to spur further videos because this series is over. I do sincerely thank anybody who's been watching along and commenting. It's always fun to think that there's somebody out there watching and enjoying these vids, even if a series as long as this one. Yeah, it takes a lot of patience, and I know I tend to lose viewers as we go, plodding along in these long series. But, bit of a completionist run, a lot of DLC content that we added on. It saved all the Mass Effect 2 squad mates and stuff, which, man, all those missions where they do their cameos still pop up even if they're not around, but they're just mean more when they're around. Mass Effect 3 in some ways was a big fan wank for fans of Mass Effect 1 and 2. In a way. And certainly the Citadel DLC is a massive fan wank. But it was a lot of fun as well. I think, looking back, Mass Effect is my favorite Mass Effect game. Mass Effect 3 probably comes in second. Citadel DLC I really enjoyed. Mass Effect 2 is probably my least favorite. Because the whole, they tried so hard to give it this, dark, edgy, cool tone, which just bugged me. Mass Effect 3 had some of the same sins. With those two, it's a bit of a coin flip, which one's better, which one's worse. But Mass Effect, with its spirit of optimism and exploration and fun, was just, well, fun. I hope you enjoyed it and the other two and just the entire LP overall. Thank you guys for watching. I want to pull out my favorite Mass Effect trope as a way of calling this thing, but there's nothing coming to mind as clear and perfect as an ending as walking up to Garrus one last time to be told that he doesn't have time to talk to us because he has to calibrate a weapon. So instead, just picture the shattered corpse of Mysterious JG, and for Bean and Bobo, you actually know what I look like, lying there amongst the rubble, and then suddenly, is he still alive? Did he survive Let's Playing Mass Effect 3? Well, did he? You have to figure out your own answers to that question, folks. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you down the road with some other LP. Don't know what's next, but Mass Effect's done. Bye-bye.